to be careful when you're playing against Dr. Mundo, when you're playing against Gragas and Caitlyn. All three scale really well into the late game, so Fnatic, if they survive the early one, they might be able to take this in the later stages of the game.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Copenhagen Wolves as the blue team, up against Fnatic as the red team. We'll see whether we get any level 1 shenanigans. Both teams have something they don't really want to face in the jungle. Fnatic, for me, look like the stronger level 1 team, but so often we just don't see the invades anymore.
Now, again, the thing with the wards, at 130 you can spot pretty much every entrance into your jungle. Makes it very easy to counter if they go in for a late engage on you. If you go 5 people straight in, you don't have a ward to place down because, again, 130. So you more or less just go in there, risk dying or risk being caught out, and it's not really worth it.
Well, we'll see how they work out. Last time around, the Wolves took some early aggression, and he was on Peke. We'll see whether they go for it. Of course, Amazing's going to be wanting to maybe try and start something off.
And talking about the early aggression, we have a Doran's Blade onto Renekton. Starting item, it simply means he wants to shove the lane. He wants to get Mundo to the turret. He wants to have a kill threat onto him. With the Ignite to the teleport as well, there's pretty much no chance for Source to actually get a kill 1v1. So the whole idea for Copenhagen Wolves, shove Source into the turret and then have Evelyn coming up and try and dive on him.
Is this going to be a bait? Cyanide does just get spotted on towards Amazing there. Don't think we knew he was there finally. The moment he stepped out to put that wall down, backs away.
But this is very smart by Copenhagen Wolves because they can predict now, or they can actually spot out if there was a lane swap from Fnatic side, because they would see the bot lane helping Cyanide do red buff and then they could swap with them. It's a very nice ward. Make sure that the lanes are pretty much standard, and that's what Copenhagen Wolves want.
And we do see Soaz heading up there. He's going to help out. The leash barrel from Peke will mean that Cyanide starts off on the red buff, and we see Amazing. He's over on the blue. He's going to be taking that one away. Taking a lot of damage though. Didn't get a lot of help from Youngbuck. Youngbuck wants to get into that lane early on. Meanwhile, Unlimited gets flayed on already. Has hold on to that stun. They want to hit that level 2 first.
Yeah, the standard, we want 8 level 2 first. It seems to be in favor of Copenhagen Wolves. They will be able to take down his minion wave. Very nice harass from them.
The stun used pre-level 1 there. Nicely done. Caught Reckless in that stun and forgiven quickly onto that one. Must have been pre-worked on them level 1 strategies.
There's a lot of early game aggression from Copenhagen Wolves, like we know from this bot lane. They love to shove up the lane early, and if you're not ready to counter shove it, they will always get you up there, get the early level 2 and put the pressure onto you. Fnatic though, are in a good position, very close down to their own turret, so even though they will be only level 1 to level 2 of Copenhagen Wolves, they won't be really afraid of dying.
Level 2 hits first for Unlimited, immediately turns around, puts a flame on towards Yellow Star. Very ballsy play, knew exactly the experience they required to hit that level 2 because he could have been walking straight into a death sentence.
So we need to see also how much Yellow Star can do on this first, because they gave Annie over to Unlimited. He's been loving to play it, and they were fine with it. Just picked up a different support for Yellow Star and felt this is what we want. So we need to see how much he can actually do, also laning-wise. Remember also Caitlyn was one of the very early picks, so that was definitely also one they wanted to take away from Forgiven.
Yeah, one of the first picks they made, along with that Wukong for Cyanide, a champion that maybe he's found out does work out well for him. Well, Cyanide himself has had a few rough weeks along with Peke. But at the moment, countered up against Peke seems to be working well.
Yeah, and look at this, just as we talked about with Lulu early game versus Gragas, who needs some levels before he can really start clearing the waves with his barrels. He's getting harassed down and pretty much pushed straight to his own turret. He's only having 7 CS to 20 from Couchard, so a big difference early on.
Peke so far is happy to just sit there on the tower. Doesn't want to go too far. Remember how this one turned out for him. 0-6 last time he faced Couchard. Not a good week in the LCS for Peke.
This time around he has a more mobile pick, so if he should be ganked by the Evelyn, which we see actually going towards the top lane, no ward from Source and no pink on me, so he won't be able to spot him out. And Cyanide actually just recalled, so if they want to go for this dive, they should be able to get it.
Double buffs on Amazing, they may well try and go for this one. Hasn't been spotted yet. Remember, he is invisible, stealthy, but Soaz is playing it very cautiously. Youngbuck's going to have to slice and get the stun down on towards Soaz. That's what he does. He goes for it, gets the stun down, the Ignite goes down. The damage is enough, and First Blood easily coming in for Amazing.
And such a standard play by Copenhagen Wolves against the Dr. Mundo. This is what you need to do. Punish him early on where he's weak, and he's not able to shove up the lane, and he's just more or less an easy gank.
Amazing just goes for a loop around, goes towards those golems. Cyanide had just taken them away though. Meanwhile, the mid lane, Peke, look at the harass on him. Glitterlance does catch on the poke there and forces him away. Takes a bit of a tower hit, but it doesn't matter. He's going to keep pressuring that tower.
And he really needs some help from Cyanide. He is nearby. He needs to go in and help Peke. It's going to be very hard though, because Peke is and very, very low, so he won't be able to join in. But if Fnatic doesn't stop this bullying into the mid lane, where Cloud is just constantly shoving down Peke, he will continue falling behind.
A stun on towards Yellow Star. Good flame coming out from Unlimited. Forgiven does get the poke back on towards him, dodges out the death sentence, and they are really putting pressure on this bottom lane.
And basically Copenhagen Wolves is just pressuring every single lane. We had Youngwork pushing up in the top lane, picking up the kill with Amazing onto Soaz. We have mid lane shoving, we have bot lane shoving. This is standard Copenhagen Wolves early game. Every single lane is very aggressive, and they just want to focus on winning on CS.
First item coming out in the top lane. We do see a pickaxe being picked up for Youngbuck, meanwhile up against the chain vest of Soaz.
So it's a very smart pickup by Soaz to prevent some of the damage from Youngbuck. If Amazing comes there, he will have a lot of magic damage early on, so he won't do anything with the chain whip. But with the pickaxe onto Youngbuck, he wants to go for this Tiamat early, so he can just continue shoving down the lane and putting pressure.
Meanwhile in the mid lane, as we see Coutard, he's been back on himself that Chalice. Meanwhile, we see Peke, of course, went for the double Dorrance ring. So struggling a little, and you can see double the CS now for Coutard on this Lulu, really putting pressure on Peke.
And generally speaking, if you can't afford your Chalice on the first buy, you're really, really far behind. And now Peke actually going on to Coutard.
Gonna get the belly slam down on him. He does manage to use the barrel on towards him. Quick pick turned on from Coutard, just gonna step away from this one. There's no mana. Oh, they ignite, it's got enough. Peke makes the play.
Giant misplay by Coutard. He walks into the body slam of Peke, gets engaged on, and he has no counterplay to it. And Peke simply just follows him down, body slams him one more time, ignites, and picks up a kill. And the only thing Coutard had to do was just harass from distance. He never had to go into range of Peke.
Just didn't even seem to counter that. Ignite would follow through. As soon as I realized he's out of mana, he's got no cooldowns. Nope, Ignite is ready and waiting to go, and Coutard could have flashed away from that at any time. Chose to flash right at the end.
But that was such a beautiful play by Peke. He really took advantage of the mistake from Coutard. That's one of the most important things when it comes to professional gaming. If you see someone make a mistake, you need to punish him. This time around, he spotted Coutard making a mistake, took the kill, and he now got some gold back, instantly went back and also bought some early magic resist.
What we do see, yeah, like you say, magic resist and the boots as well, so he's got mobility to go with it. Amazing spotted out Cyanide here. He's going to come in towards this buff. Remember, Amazing will be coming in stealth. Cyanide is starting off. That ward will not spot him. And now he's going to come around. Now he will get seen out in a moment. He will go down towards Cyanide. He's got Coutard joining. Oh, they guessed wrong. He thought he was going to go off to the side there. Youngbuck came into cover as well, so it was a 3-man invade for the Copenhagen Wolves, but they get the red buff.
And they really take advantage of the fact Amazing is level 6, and also the fact that Source couldn't move from top because he's all the way down to his own turret. So smart move, get the red, and now Coutard, not enough mana on Peke to actually kill him, so this time around he feels safe just running past him.
Yeah, does walk back, and of course he does have the Ignite as well. Make sure he gets that Siege minion, will take down all of the gold on that tower, so nothing being wasted. But Peke is trying to detract here, maybe pull him towards the race, but they have a ward, so they saw exactly how that was happening, playing out there. Coutard's going to take the blue buff, heads back to the mid lane.
And we need to see how long this pink ward in the river for Fnatic side actually is going to last. It's been there for a while, they put it out on the first buy, and nobody from Copenhagen Wolves have actually been around this area, so they haven't spotted out anyone yet. But if they can keep this one going, maybe even for a dragon fight, it's going to be a big advantage for them.
Yeah, Copenhagen Wolves got their own pink ward as well, up towards the red buff, which is what they just started off. Blue buff's given across to Peke. He needs that quite a lot in that mid lane, of course, because that chalice for Coutard he doesn't have on his own. The mana is draining.
And this is the point for Gragas where he can really start farming. He's level 7, he has 4 ranks into his queue, and also he has the blue buff, so he can now constantly shove it down, or at least try to shove down the waves with his barrel. We see it here, almost clearing the wave. If he puts down one when the wave comes, he can put down one more later on before the back minions actually die. So this is the point for him really to start farming, where he's also going towards the waves.
Let's talk about that bottom lane. We haven't had a chance to glimpse at them for a while. We do see a BF sword on Forgiven now. He's got 80 CS up against Reckless's 61, so a bit of a gap developing there in terms of farm.
And the early level 2 standard Copenhagen Wolves, where they shove off the lane very aggressive early on, gave them a CS lead, and also the fact they're playing is very, very aggressive with both Annie and Lucian, have a lot of harass, and they're putting it down beautifully. Sanad, he is down in the bot lane, but it's going to be hard for him to set something up unless we can get a hook in from Yellow Star.
Youngbuck is dominating this top lane right now. 86 to 60 CS, and that tower is working down very quickly. 9.5 minutes in. Remember, Soaz has that teleport, but he doesn't want to have to make use of it so early. We do see Cyanide and Yellow Star coming up towards this mid lane, but they're going to get spotted out by Svenskeren.
And here's one of the things Fnatic can do, and it seemed they were almost setting up for it, is let the top tower go because it's so low, and just have Source teleporting down to Dragon, take it away, at least get something from losing your top turret, because this is going to go down no matter what. And if Youngbuck then roams down towards the dragon, Copenhagen Wolves can actually pick it up. So Fnatic needs to be fast if they want to get this early dragon with the teleport from source.
The Copenhagen Wolves have been very good at dragon control over the last few weeks. It's definitely something they've stepped up, and you know, obviously we saw from Youngbuck that tweet just a couple of weeks ago saying how they needed to change their rotations, their mid-game, just how they play really in general, how they communicate as a team, and it seems to have worked so far. Amazing puts that ward right in front of Sine, doesn't quite get the reset on it. Amazing past the pink ward, they finally spot it.
Yeah, they spotted out clearly where he almost went out of the bush actually before he saw it. Very nice for them because there's no pink ward left on Fnatic's side, so they won't have this vision of Amazing roaming around the river. He can move towards bot lane, he can move toward mid lane through this bush now, and that's very big for him, and it puts a lot of more pressure onto Fnatic.
Slow tactical play in the first 10 minutes. Currently a 2,000 gold advantage building up for the Copenhagen Wolves. It is a pretty big deal considering they have already taken down. Coulthard heading in. Peke's got to be careful. He's going to get blown in towards the tower. Wild Growth was used. Is there enough damage though coming out from Peke? I'm not too sure there is. Coulthard should be able to get away. Double flash turns around. Coulthard tries to go back aggressive. Takes a barrel to the face. Amazing finally joins there. Peke cannot stick around.
He seems he's gonna stick around though. He does have his body slam. He is slowed. Will Amazing go for this one?
He has got his ultimate available, goes in towards it. Coulthard's far too far away. Tries to use that picks, gets in there, gets the kill. Amazing tanks it up. It's a second for Amazing.
And meanwhile in the bot lane we also have kills coming in. Lucian went down, but Sinat also went down in the gank.
Yeah, Yellowstar and Reckless, it was Yellowstar that picked up the kill. We'll maybe take a look at that one in a few moments, but Unlimited all on his own down this bottom tower, just keeping him at bay with Tibbers.
So, talking about what we just saw in the mid lane, meanwhile we see some action here. Tibbers actually doing quite a lot of damage, but two things mid lane. First of all, Coulthard predicted the flash body slam from Peke. That's why he actually flashed before Peke and didn't get hit by it. Next up, Amazing joins in for the fight. He's predicting the body slam from Peke, flashes in front of him, so body slam goes straight into his face, and he actually picks up the kill. Very nice play by both Copenhagen Wolves players.
So, how does this stack up for the lanes at the moment, of course? This is going to be the kill down the bottom lane.
Sana coming in here with the lantern, very nice, and they actually land the hook from Yellowstar. Pops forgive him pretty much instantly, but Sana he's stuck under the turret, stunned up by Unlimited with the Tibbers, and goes down.
So nice counterplay from Unlimited, but he'd actually just gone up the river to place them wards down, which is unfortunate, or more fortunate for Fnatic fans to get that timing down there. So let's look across the board. We can see it's 3 kills to 2 for the Copenhagen Wolves. 2 of those kills again are for Amazing. The top lane is really being dominated right now by Youngbuck.
But it is to be expected when you have Renekton, you pick him to win the lane. And Dr. Mundo, you don't pick him to go even or win, you pick him to just go late game and become this very, very tanky guy that's so hard to deal with. So for Fnatic side, as long as he can keep farming on source, it's fine. And Coulthard being caught out.
Coulthard's well out of position, does use that wild growth, but it's not going to be enough, I don't feel. There's the explosive cast. Coulthard hasn't got flash available, he's just trying to use that pick to run away. Can he get away? One more hit from Cyanide. It's not quite going to be enough. The death sentence doesn't land, he will have the dash. The flay comes in from Yellowstar. And Youngbuck, meanwhile, takes down Peke in the jungle.
And we just have action everywhere at the moment. First of all, Coulthard went in to actually ward very deep in the jungle from Fnatic, got caught out, and actually had to use Yellowstar to get the kill from Cyanide. He didn't had his Q ready in time to pick up the kill by himself. Meanwhile, though Renekton moved all the way down from top lane and took down a kill on Peke.
So, Tiamat now completed for Youngbuck, and you can see he's at 1-0-1, Amazing 2-0-1, working out well for the top and jungle. But for Fnatic, it's all about that support getting the kills.
Simply just Youngbuck moving down, popping his ultimate. At this point, Peke has already used his ultimate, he's used everything, and as soon as Youngbuck comes in, pops ultimate, flashes in, gets the kill he needs.
Double Youngbucks there on the screen, he just backed away, which means the dragon setup may well happen here. Amazing's already in place, so we'll come around and get that pink ward down. He will clear out, there's a ward there already, he's just going to clear that one out.
And notice how Copenhagen Wolves have picked up 3 sweeping lenses very early on into the game because they want to have the pressure onto Fnatic, they want to clear the wards and maybe set up something like a dragon or some kills in the jungle of Fnatic. And that's also why we saw Coulthard moving in so deep into the jungle of Fnatic to ward.
Well, we do see Amazing coming down towards this mid lane. We do have Unlimited nearby as well. He's not going to come in and catch on towards there though. Talking about supports, we've got 1 kill for Unlimited, 2 kills for Yellowstar. These are not really where the kills want to go.
Generally not, you want to have it on your carries, but actually early kills onto supports are not too bad because it gives some vision control and also it gives you maybe an early talisman that can be very good for starting fights or backing off in fights.
Well, so far it looks like the Copenhagen Wolves are going to be starting off the dragon. Remember they used that pink ward a while ago. This is Complete no vision for Fnatic whatsoever. They're not going to defend this one. They're not even going to take another objective. Can they take the top turret? I'm not sure they can. Youngbuck's already heading up there. That mid lane turret may also go down. They could be 3-0 in turrets at this rate.
And this is the early game aggression from Copenhagen Wolves we talked about in the pre-game. How they changed everything with we want to win the lanes, pick up some sweeping lenses, deny vision, and then just take objectives, turrets, and push down and just win by that. We don't need to straight up fight.
Just a couple more hits. Fnatic desperately trying to defend this one. Really just a small breeze would take it down right now. And Countertard Unlimited are there. We do see Forgiven. Now he's coming back up. Got himself that Bloodthirster completed, heading towards the Trinity Force next item. Still yet to buy boots.
But Forgiven, he's very far ahead compared to Reckless. Bloodthirster completed, he can stack it up to 30. That's 30 extra attack damage when it's fully stacked. He can get these 30 attack damage, and he has the Sheen. So his upfront burst, if a fight should start, is very, very high at the moment.
Pink Ward just got placed by Cyanide, gets immediately removed by Youngbuck. That's not good. That's an investment of gold that is not going to pay off.
We have to see what Copenhagen will decide to do now, because Source is left up to farm top. That's what he wants to do. He wants to get the farm here in the early game. Meanwhile, Youngbuck is actually rotated down towards the mid lane, but they're not in a position to take the turret, at least yet. It only takes more or less 2 people to come in that can actually get it, because Fnatic is staying in trying to defend, but there are only 2 people at the moment, and Copenhagen could actually have taken it.
Yeah, while this is all happening, while they're trying to keep it at bay, we can see Forgiven, he's down the bottom, getting himself free farm. We do see Youngbuck, he continuously goes across the jungle, clearing it all out. Spirit Visage being built up now. Meanwhile, Sunfire Cape has been built by Soaz, but he is desperately falling behind. He is going to become that tank, as you mentioned. He will become a problem in the late game.
In the late game, he's so hard to kill, but with a combo, and also, especially with a combo from Copenhagen Wolves side, because Lulu, she won't have damage to kill a tank late game. It's going to be all about Forgiven actually taking him down, and that can be an issue for Copenhagen Wolves if it go really late. I had to look at the items also from Unlimited. He picked up a Relic Shield after the laning phase, which is a bit weird for me. This doesn't decide to go Talisman to even have more mobility on the team. Instead, he wants to have this shield he can put onto his possibly the AD carry or Evelynn or Necton. But it's not going to do too much compared to having the mobility from a Talisman, so I'm not too sure about that item though.
See where it goes. Currently it's Copenhagen Wolves. They're going to push in, take that mid-tank turret. Unlimited thought about it there, thought about rushing into maybe Flash Tibbers. There was 3 juicy targets for him, but instead they saw Peke down the bottom, and they're not going to go for it.
And Fnatic, obviously the tower was so low, they just gave it up, didn't want to take a chance. Meanwhile, they have both solo laners farming the side lanes, and this is what they need to do. Simply try and get some farm on every single member at the moment. Just try and extend the game, go to late game. I don't even think they care about giving up the next dragon, because if they're not in a position to fight against this mid-game combo from Copenhagen Wolves, they might just end up going in, getting aced, and that would be even worse than just staying in your lanes, give up objectives, and just try and farm.
Problem is here though, Cyanide's been having to run defensive duties in that mid lane for so long that he's had those wraiths taken away from him. The Reds finally spawned, he may well get it this time around, but they've been in his jungle the whole time, and you only need to look at the difference between Amazing and Cyanide to see how it's playing out.
And that's simply very smart play by Copenhagen Wolves to use the advantage of all the lanes being stronger. It's very hard to do anything as a jungler. Look down here, Peke. Amazing is actually nearby, he's going for him.
He's going to go straight in though. I'm not sure he's going to fight this one. Instead, he's just going to run away, but that's the ultimate already used out. And look at what it did to Amazing. Next to nothing.
And he also has a Hex Drinker, so even if he had dropped low, shield would have popped. Been very hard for Peke to actually kill him.
The wards continue to go down. It's what keeps the crowds entertained these days, really. It has been since the Season 2 days. I completely blame Evil Geniuses and Wolverine for that one, by the way.
To be fair, though, it was a very long game. You needed something to cheer for, I remember that. And the crowd, yeah, they loved the awards.
It was clg.eu back in the day, of course. But Forgiven, he's going to be careful he doesn't get captured out here. Cyanide thought about coming around the side, but it's some great ward vision from the Copenhagen Wolves on this bottom half of the jungle.
And notice how both teams seem to be happy just waiting it out. Copenhagen Wolves, they're waiting for the next dragon to spawn so they can pick it up, extend the goal lead. Fnatic, they're just waiting to get farmed. They don't want to try and risk anything. You saw Peke going for Amazing, did his combo, and then he just backed off. He didn't want to chase, he wasn't desperate for a kill, because they know their combo late game is very, very strong if they can just continue getting some gold somewhere. So we see both teams kind of waiting out. And it's a bit a shame, because we just had so much action a few minutes ago where people just died left and right, and we would love to see that again.
Sporadic bursts of action, but 4 members of the Copenhagen Wolves have all just been back to buy. They've got themselves a pocket full of wards, which they're all pulling up towards this lower half of the jungle. As you mentioned, that dragon up in 1 minute 20. They're making sure they get full vision of it before it happens.
And there's actually some very good vision from Fnatic side into their own jungle. You see double pink, and now closing in on Reckless with Youngbuck.
Straight stun on towards him, has to use the flay. The hook on Forgiven. They may follow this one. on through. Forgiven has to flash away. Cyanide quickly closing in. The rest of the team coming in from the side there. Kautar gets in. Wild Growth used on Forgiven. Stun on towards Cyanide. The Ignite's running. It will get the kill. The culling comes out. That takes down Yellowstar. Now they're coming on towards Peke. Peke throws out his explosive cast, but it's just not enough damage. And that, Svenska Amazing getting took down at the side there by Reckless. Good counter kill.
So Fnatic actually gets the hook onto Unlimited. Forgiven, sorry. They thought they could go for the kill, but then we see Lulu, mid-game power. She comes in from the side, pops ultimate, pops the shield onto Forgiven, and he's just not going down. Copenhagen Wolves turned around, pick up the kill onto Cyanide, and then Yellowstar. This was perfect for them because they get 2 kills, Dragon spawning in 25 seconds, and we know that it's going to be very hard for Fnatic to fight. So that was absolutely perfect for them. Notice the roam, starting onto Reckless, very nice hook by Yellowstar though, popping the combo onto Forgiven with Cyanide here. The damage though, that is gone, because Reckless, he's very little damage with Caitlyn at this point, and with Lulu ultimate, the rest of Copenhagen was joining in, they're simply the stronger and gets the kills they want.
Yeah, Amazing just went too deep there. You can see taking all of the tower hits. Reckless just turns it around. The tower hit does the final damage.
He went a little bit too hand.
Meanwhile, look down at the Dragon. We can see Fnatic getting in there. They're going to take this one away. And Fnatic secure themselves the Dragon. Now they're going to have to run. You can see quick pop Talisman. Run the hell out of there. Copenhagen Wolves chasing, but they're not quick enough. They may go for the mid turret though.
And that was such a smart play by Fnatic. They instantly went down, had the timer, took it. Youngbuck, he was towards the top side. He was out of position. Doesn't look like Copenhagen Wolves beat this out of position, but if they can take the mid turret, they might get something for it.
Explosive cast used. It forces Amazing back. Pops that Cyclone, but Wild Growth quickly forces him away. Youngbuck now tanking up the turret. He slices away. Is he got far enough? That's the question. Kautar Forgiven. Everybody trying to run interference here. Unlimited gets caught by one of those cleavers from Soaz. The Piltover also whistling past him. He does use that stun, doesn't quite catch it. Barrel rolling back out there. They're trying to turn this one back around. Coming in that side. Amazing manages to put his ultimate down. Can he catch on towards anyone else? A lot of damage going back and forth. They've gone for the Cyclone. Gone for the clone. They shouldn't have gone for the right target. Peke then goes back in. It's just 1 kill. That's all they've got from all of that action. They're still chasing on towards Amazing. Can they hold on to this turret?
Such a messy fight. First, Copenhagen Wolves at the turret. Fnatic decides to engage on them, chase them all the way down through the mid lane. Copenhagen Wolves constantly try to lay some pressure. They turn around, but Fnatic is still stronger, and they manage to pick up a kill onto Unlimited and this mid turret. So the last 1 minute for Fnatic, absolutely perfect. First, they get a Dragon they shouldn't be able to take because they were behind against the mid-game combo. Second of all, they win the team fight in mid and take the mid turret. So very nice play by Fnatic.
And I feel like a broken record right now. We've said this so many times to the Copenhagen Wolves. The 15 to 25 minute phase for the Copenhagen Wolves can often be so reckless, so sloppy. And a Fnatic there, up against a team like that, they will punish you. No matter what their form is like currently, they will find that opportunity to punish you.
And this, just as we saw, they spotted out Youngbuck being away from the Dragon. That's why they went there, took it away. Copenhagen Wolves, if the shot calling had been correct, would have been in the position for it. It wasn't. So just as you mentioned, we might still see a few issues here in the 25 or 22 to 25 minute mark, which they have to still sort.
It's just a 3-minute gap.
Yeah, I meant 15 minutes to 25 minutes.
25.
Same, different numbers.
We know what you meant. It's all right. Timing's never a strong point of a support player. At the moment, we do see Amazing heading in there. You just threw water all down yourself. That's beautiful.
It's going to look good, don't worry.
It's okay. It'll look wonderful on camera when you guys get to see him again.
No, I got a grey shirt on.
The Copenhagen Wolves are pushing in towards Fnatic's jungle and trying to get that vision down. Lichbane now built on Kautar. Amazing. Getting himself some vision in there, poking in towards it. They want to get on towards that inner turret.
Definitely. Want to get towards this inner turret. Meanwhile, I have spilled quite a lot of water on me.
Yeah, you have.
It's gonna dry, don't worry. We have the light here going on. Back to the game though. Fnatic defending the mid turret. Copenhagen Wolves, we need to see what they want to do here because they lost the last few minutes. Fnatic got some goal back. We need to see if Copenhagen Wolves want to keep up the pressure, or they want to try maybe extend the game themselves.
Well, they're trying to take over the vision of the blue buff area at the moment. They're waiting, they're hoping that someone's going to come through jungle. You can see Amazing and Unlimited sat there, maybe trying to set up a little gank pairing in towards that bush. The rest of the Copenhagen Wolves are coming around as well. Peke is going to farm out. No, he's not going to take the bait. I can see they're pinging on towards Cyanide, but he's not going to take the bait. Instead comes in, puts the ward down. Blue buff stolen away by Amazing.
A nice move by Copenhagen Wolves. Fnatic wasn't in a position to fight. We had Yellowstar towards the turret and also Reckless at the base. Didn't want to go in for this one. Get the blue buff, small victory for them, and now we need to simply see them do something. Soa's actually catching out Kautar.
Soa's going deep on towards him. Cyanide's looking to chase on towards it as well, but he can just pop that shield back away, throw out the Glitter Lance, and that Lichbane, it will be hurting.
It will be hurting, and this Once he picks up the death cap onto Lulu, he has the 3 main core items to his damage. He can pop pretty much anyone with a lot of instant burst, except for Source, who's going to be very, very tanky and very hard to deal with, especially also with this Warmonks.
Dead Sentence flashing past from Yellowstar. That may well turn around fight for Counter. The 2 AD carries are both away in the bottom lane at the moment, so this is a straight 4-on-4, although Peke was pushing that top lane. The top lane turret actually is going to take some pressure from the minions, which may buy them time. Amazing, taking down those wards.
So too little minion wave though to actually do anything. Meanwhile, Copenhagen Wolves, they kept forgiving bot because they figured he could beat Reckless 1v1, so they want to pressure Fnatic that way. He has rotated mid, all 5 members are here. They need to push up this mid wave and get Reckless to move there, otherwise he's going to get too much farm.
So as is part undecided, he wants to push for that top tower, and I think he's been given the all clear by his team. He is one of the main shot callers for that team, by the way, so he will be making this decision saying they can't push on that tower. Everybody holds it, I'll push and take the top.
And it's a big issue for Copenhagen Wolves. They're more or less stuck. There's nothing they can really do. They can't push anywhere. Great wave clear from Caitlyn, great wave clear from obviously Gragas. So it's very hard for them to actually do something before the next dragon. When it's up though, if they have the proper vision control and want to take the fight, that's where Copenhagen Wolves has the advantage.
Look, it's a long way ahead in builds. I just realised that across the 2 top laners, he's actually got that Randians and Spirit Visage along with the Tiamat, where it's Sunfire and Spirit Visage. It's all to actually tell him light. That's not a Spirit Visage, is it? Okay, I see how SOS is built. He's gone a bit different.
So as basically said, I want to defend myself against both armor and magic damage, so I build a Warmonks. Yep. Straight up HP is the best defensive stat if you want to have against both. So smart by him, and it also makes him very hard to generally deal with, because he's going to regen so much health when he pops his ultimate.
Well, since the summer of 2013, I've kind of tried to block out Warmogs because there were so many Warmogs being used back in that period of time. But as it stands, SOAS is going to continue shoving on that top lane. You can see he's closing in on the 4,000 hit point area, and he will be taking down that top turret. The minions will do it for him.
Very smart, because he has the teleport ready. If a fight should break out, he can join down. He can continue pushing, apply pressure. 2 seconds for the dragon. We see Copenhagen Wolves move into a position where they can start clearing out the wards, get the control, and then maybe start a fight in their favor.
Well, 1 dragon apiece so far for Wolves and Fnatic. It's all tied 1-1 in games. Let's see who can take this one this time around, because the gold, well, it will certainly pull heavily in Fnatic's favor if they can go and get it. Copenhagen Wolves have already started off here. Amazing's already on this one. They are just running interference with Coutard and Youngbuck.
We see the pings to fall back from Fnatic already. They don't want to contest against this combo. Who coming on to Youngbuck?
Oh, it's only Youngbuck they caught though, and I don't think that's really someone they want to go for. They may well get caught out of position here. Reckless took a Glitter Lance there. Didn't want to get too heavy, but Fnatic, whoa, this is risky play. They're going to push for the tower.
And we actually might see an engagement here from the side of Copenhagen Wolves.
Youngbuck goes on towards Cyanide, and SOAS Cyanide still holding on. That's going to be the ultimate from Yellowstar. They do manage to knock back. Youngbuck just slides himself away. Amazing gone a little bit too deep there. Can you see the death sentence? Ace in the hole will come through. That's going to force Amazing away.
And notice here the issue from Copenhagen Wolves. Youngbuck goes in from one side, and now the hook coming onto it.
Flash death sentence comes out. Explosive cast forces him back, but he quickly flashes out of it. Cyanide caught in position. Cyclone doing nothing. And the Copenhagen Wolves, now they're thinking we can take it.
So here's the thing. Fight-wise, Copenhagen Wolves, they need both Youngbuck and Amazing to go onto Reckless if they want to kill him. This time around, Amazing came from one side, Youngbuck came through the middle. Nobody really got towards Reckless, so you could just net away, no chance of him dying, and it simply meant Copenhagen Wolves had to back off. The combo here for them is either go all in, pop someone, or just back off.
SOAS he's going up towards that top lane, but he's got 2 members of the Copenhagen Wolves closing in. Coutard and Amazing all coming in here. He's only got 1,000 hit points. He doesn't have that ultimate. He's going to try and run it now as much as he can, but I don't think he's going to have the regen. It was quickly countered by the Ignite.
So very nice of Copenhagen Wolves to punish Source for overextending. He still had the teleport, he felt comfortable, he can just go up top, continue pushing, teleport somewhere if something should happen. Meanwhile though, this means the rest of Copenhagen Wolves can now go towards this top lane, where the minion wave is coming with them.
Copenhagen Wolves all shoving in there, and well, Fnatic not even close to responding here. Peke is going to teleport back, but that tower's going to take a hell of a lot of damage before anyone gets near it.
Forgiven is very far away though, so he won't be joining in. He's doing a lot of damage to the turrets. So is a Lich Bane Lulu though.
Reckless is going to be careful, he doesn't go too deep on that one. Cyanide slides himself in there. Cyclone not available yet, but the sheer pressure of it was enough to force him back. Coutard just baiting out that hook. Not going to land this time from Yellowstar.
So what we saw, if we go all the way back to the dragon, Fnatic didn't feel like fighting for it. They wanted to shove down the mid. Copenhagen Wolves want to set up the fight, but unless they get the perfect engage, they can't kill Reckless, and that's an issue for them. It simply means they're waiting for Fnatic to chase them down and then counter engage after they poked enough with Lucian calling and also with the damage for Coutard. And it's going to make them very weird team fights. It's going to be hard for both teams to actually kill each other.
Okay, will get himself the blue buff. So both mid laners this time around will have blue, which means their cooldown and mana will be running that much stronger. Looking across the AD champions, you can see that Reckless is actually, like you say, he was a long way behind Forgiven, and he still is. Last Whisper now completed, along with that Trinity Force Bloodthirsty he had a long time ago. Meanwhile, finally, we do see it. The Last Whisper was just bought by Reckless.
Yeah. The fact he actually had 2,300 gold
Yes.
when he backed, he got it now, meaning daily carries are pretty much even. And Reckless, he's just going to be stronger and stronger on this Kaden. We know his positioning is pretty much perfect every team fight. So as long as he can keep farming, keep getting these items, just with the 3 core items here, he's going to do a lot of damage. Hard for him to kill Youngbuck, but the rest of Copenhagen Wolves can die to him at least.
Team Match still the only thing that Youngbuck has, and he must be sitting on quite a large amount of gold himself as well. We do see the rest of Copenhagen Wolves are televised. I don't know what he spent it all on, but he hasn't got a lot lately. Copenhagen Wolves, look at this, look at Limited, he really wanted the fight there, charging up that mid lane with those boots of mobility.
And they didn't have vision on Pegasus, so they thought he was either in base or far away, so they thought they could take this fight in favor of them, but he was actually nearby if a fight should have started. Meanwhile though, Copenhagen Wolves rotating into the Fnatic jungle. Fnatic, they seem to just pushing down mid lane.
Are they going to go deep for Soaz here? I'd say you say Fnatic are just pushing straight down their mid lane. They don't care. They may well get in towards that inner turret. Copenhagen Wolves are caught napping here. They're not even anywhere near this one. They're going to have to tank for it. Teleport comes in from Soaz. He's going to join it. It's 5 members of Fnatic pushing in the mid.
And they can take this fight because Copenhagen Wolves are coming from behind, so it's been very hard for them to actually disengage if Copenhagen Wolves gets onto them. But they can maybe get this mid turret.
Soaz completely running interference here. Fnatic have got themselves a tactical advantage, but will it work out? That tower has to go down to make it count. Now they can turn the fight on him. Amazing's trying to get in there. Youngbuck's gone on towards Cyanide. Cyanide's so low, but that Cyclone is going to run. Youngbuck's almost taken out of this one. The rest of the Copenhagen Wolves closing around the side, but the Fnatic, all they need to do now is dash away. Cyanide's happy to run around. Oh, he's going to get caught, stunned, locked up. He will go down, but simply one death is not enough. Can they get more? Fnatic Peke is going to back off, and then you see Youngbuck, he's going to get chased out here. Fnatic have done a fantastic job at closing him out. Look at that Glitter Lance though from Kautan. Dodges out the death sentence, continues to chase on them. Forgiven comes back around the side. They are continuing to chase. Youngbuck laying in wait. Is he going to go for them? No, he's going to back off. What a great play from Fnatic.
And these team fights are just kite against kite. Nobody can really take each other down. Only one member died from a straight up 5 versus 5. 2 turrets though in favor of Fnatic, so they definitely won out on this one. And also they now have an open inhib in case Copenhagen Wolves decides to move somewhere else. They can just go straight down, take up the inhib.
They're closing in on Youngbuck. Soaz is coming around the side, lands that cleaver, and look at this. Yellowstar comes to join the party. They have got a tower to defend with, though. Dodges out from that death sentence. They'll take the tower nonetheless.
And again, just fine for Fnatic. They didn't even need this kill onto Youngbuck. Just the fact they get all this global gold to all the members by taking down these turrets is a huge win for them. Meanwhile though, Copenhagen Wolves have started the Baron.
Not sure that's going to quite
off.
work out for them. Amazing was tanking it out. It's like, no, you can't tank it anymore. There was this patch some weeks ago that maybe turned it around. Youngbuck's taken down there, but Peke and Yellowstar are a long way from this fight. They're going to try and take the Baron down. Cyanide, though, is close by, and he has a history of stealing these things.
And we need to see, they need to constantly clear these wards to deny him the vision, otherwise he will be able to come in. And Reckless is also there doing a lot of damage.
Not going to get it. That's the Baron for the Copenhagen Wolves, but what will they do with it? They're going to have to back to base and spend some of that gold. Crazy, crazy game. Starting to heat up now.
Yeah, everything just exploded. Very smart move by Fnatic first, but then they stayed bot lane. After they took down the bot turret, they stayed there to kill Youngbuck. Smart move by Copenhagen Wolves, instantly going up 4 members to the Baron, and they picked it up.
Dragon, though, has spawned, and you can see Fnatic straight on that. That's going to keep that gold much tighter than it should be. It's going to take them to what? Just 1,000 gold differential, 2,000 gold differential between the two teams. Peke going to clear out this bottom lane once again, shove it on towards the towers. Everybody sitting on a mountain of gold. They're all going to go back and buy.
And while we have the Baron buff onto Copenhagen Wolves, the same issue will be there as we saw earlier in the game. The wave clear on Fnatic's side, the 3,000 gold onto Gragas. Once he spends them, he picks up something like a Void Staff. It's going to be so easy for Fnatic to just constantly shove up the waves. You have so much attack damage onto Reckless as well. His Q is more or less going to destroy the minion wave. So if Fnatic can just keep it defending like they've been doing so far, we might not like to see something happening, even though there's a Baron buff onto Copenhagen Wolves.
He's going to time it just right. 4 members of Copenhagen Wolves pushing up the mid lane. Can they follow through on that minion? Because Fnatic, while they've been doing a great job at defending you, they've been trying to push for that inner turret for the last 15 to 20 minutes. It's not been working out.
And look at the items onto Soaz. He had a hard time early on, but he's just stayed there. He kept farming. He's still behind, but simply due to the fact that he's going full tank. No Tiamat there. He's a lot more tanky. Then is Renekton. With his ultimate, he's going to regen so much HP. So Soaz, he's going to be so hard to deal with because he got so many tanky items already. And he might even go for something like a Thornmail or Randuin's as the next, making it even harder for Lucian to kill him.
Looks like a Guardian Angel may well be coming out from Peke as well. Chain Vest in there, we'll see where it goes in towards. Blue buff had just respawned, so the Copenhagen Wolves trying to steal that one away. Will go across to Forgiven. So that's going to be cooldowns. They need to really be pushing. I think the bottom lane, that's where they're going to be aiming for. That's where they're heading.
And it's a very smart move. They want to rotate from mid to bot. See if Fnatic is left at their own turret and they can maybe get some hits there. They have the shield from Lulu they can put onto the AD carry who can then go in and hit the turret a few times. And that's kind of how they want to take them down. Unless Fnatic decides to just straight up engage.
Well, Amazing and Youngwood were sticking around trying to pull something off. Amazing's actually been hooked in there. Death Sentence goes on towards him and he takes a good chunk of damage, and they're not really getting the damage they want on towards his turret. Of course, Lich Bane on counter will help them take it down a bit quicker, but this Baron buff, well, it is running low.
They still get some pretty good damage onto the turret. If they can do this the next wave, if Fnatic is not in position to actually straight up defend it, they will be able to take it down, move on to the next one. It will be very hard though, because look at this barrel, it's already on the ground, will explode with these minions. Pretty much just one-shot them.
There goes the barrel, there goes the minions. It is a siege minion, it's the strongest one they're going to get. They've hooked on counter, they're going to follow through on towards him, but is it going to be enough? Cyanide has to quickly get out of that one. There was a Dominus used. Youngbuck panicked, he thought the fight was on, as was the Tibbers, but Fnatic didn't pull the trigger.
Not a single ultimate was used from Fnatic's side. That is huge for them if they decide to fight for this one. It also means Copenhagen will have to be more careful when staying here, trying to siege him. We might even see them backing off.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to try and fight this one out there. The Baron buff will be wearing out in a couple of seconds' time. You can see Soaz continuing to cause himself a pain, throwing those cleavers out from the side there. Another Death Sentence will almost certainly be followed. You can see Yellowstar looking towards it. They're going to catch on towards Amazing. Cleavers on him. Soaz is really bullying down Amazing, forcing him away from the fight.
And notice how easy it is for Fnatic to just clear this wave every single time. Copenhagen will have to pressure multiple lanes, but they won't really ever get towards the turret. In the advantage is the top lane pushing, but it's going so slowly it won't really get to the tower in time. And Coutard, he might even want to try and catch our source.
He gets towards him and gets a cleaver in the face. And Fnatic have done a successful defensive job. They're going to try and rotate around. They're trying to push in towards that middle turret, but I'm not too sure they're going to be quick enough. Instead, they're going to rush towards the top.
And if they can actually get up there with the big minion wave, they can get some damage on it. But meanwhile, mid, it's fairly low. They might be able to take it.
They've gone in there, but you can see the barrels come in. The tower goes down. The culling comes out. Soaz is taken really low here. A good wild growth knocking up Cyanide as well. Soaz is going to back away from this one. Youngbuck can't quite get the kill. Cyanide gets away. They're going to turn around and chase. The ultimate running from Soaz just keeps him full health. And well, it was a tower nonetheless, but they can't get the kills.
Can never get the kills. They don't have the damage to pick it up. We didn't have Tibbers, we didn't have the ultimate from Youngbuck this fight, and they simply didn't manage to pick up anything other than the turret. They have to be happy with just getting one thing. It was a good rotation from them going there. The turret was already in like 35% when they got there, pulled it in, took some damage onto it, killed it, and in the fight, just like we've seen all game, these fights back and forth, there are so few people dying because the damage is not there to kill each other.
Yeah, they just don't quite have enough poke. And when it's the likes of Cyanide and Soaz are going in, they are the tankiest members of Fnatic, and everybody else is staying at safe range. Banshee's Veil now has been completed by Yellowstar, so even the supports are starting to pull out the big items. It's a 60,000 gold game between these two teams, just a 3,000 or 2,000 gold differential between them. And the Baron, well, it's going to be up in just shy of 2 minutes, as well as the Dragon in a minute. That's going to be the next focus.
And going back towards Unlimited and his items, we talked about it earlier on with the Relic Shield. He actually only upgraded once to the Targons. He didn't decide to fully upgrade it. He's more or less getting nothing from it at the moment, except very few tank stats. Meanwhile, on the other side, Banshee's Veil, and also you have the Talisman onto Yellowstar, so if they want to engage or disengage, they have this speed boost that Copenhagen Wolves is not having. That can be an issue in the longer runs. And we also see Fnatic rotate really well and get towards the mid turret, with, for instance, like a Talisman popping, going down to get the mid in him.
We'll maybe seeing a Void Staff coming out in a moment from Unlimited as well. You can see it's got the makings of it. Those cleavers are doing so much damage to Unlimited, really working him down.
Unlimited, he wants to go towards the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He's been doing it before. Simply, when he pops down the tables, he slows everything, pretty much everyone he hits, and that's the idea behind it. Also makes you more tanky, gives you a slight amount of AP, so it's a fairly decent item for him.
With this Baron spawning in, what, 50 seconds, there's not a lot of vision from Fnatic.
Not a lot of vision. That is an issue because they don't feel they can just move all the way out. They are kind of pressure down to their own turret. Smart move by Copenhagen Wolves to keep them there. Having the vision control, there's still a very good ward behind them, so they can actually see Copenhagen Wolves move towards the Baron pit if they should do it.
Wolves do keep on clearing out those pink wards. We do see Fnatic making a move for this dragon. It's going to be Cyanide who wants to get down there. Ooh, Forgiven. Face checking into that bush. I had no idea of the vision. They do catch out Peke maybe. Good to try and push on towards this one. The rest of the team have moved in place. Amazing tried to catch on towards him. So as teleporting into the bush. The death sentence does not land. Youngbuck's going to be the one at the front there. But the Cullen's coming out. It's massaging the mirror image of Cyanide. Doesn't really do the damage they required. And Fnatic have got themselves positional advantage on Dragon.
And once again, 2 ultimates are down from Copenhagen Wolves. Only the fresh ultimate is down. We might see a fight, but it could be in favor of Fnatic.
Pink ward goes down, but the Dragon's already gone across to Fnatic. And now they're just going to step away from this one. No advantage whatsoever for the Wolves.
And honestly, Fnatic, they're just doing a better job of getting towards these dragons at the right times. Meanwhile, though, Copenhagen Wolves can go for this Baron again. Fnatic out of position, but they are moving there.
The smite was used by Cyanide on the dragon, which they know it can't get stolen away. Explosive gas is available, though. And you can see Youngbuck, he's just going to come around the side now. They're going to try and take this one down as quick as possible. They've got it!
And just as I mentioned, Copenhagen Wolves have been doing, or Fnatic have been doing a better job of getting objectives. Copenhagen Wolves picked up the second Baron. Smart move, instantly going there. They popped Tibbers. Sorry, not Tibbers, but they used everything on getting this Nashor. Yeah, they actually did use the Tibbers on it. Simply just to try and burst it down in time.
Get everything on towards it, it worked out. So, Dragon for Nashor, not a bad trade. And these two teams are still very, very close. You can see it's just a 2,000 gold differential. The lane, though, in the top has been pushed heavily by Fnatic, so the Wolves will have to step away and deal with that one as well as the bottom.
And it actually is insane how close these two teams are. Every single time someone takes an objective from the other team, they just go somewhere else, pick up something. And it's just making it such a close game. And meanwhile, every single team fight, have we seen more than 2 deaths from one team in a team fight? I don't think we have, actually. Just back and forth, very hard time killing each other. Such a close game.
And I can tell you that Fnatic now have as many dragons in this game as they have in their entire 8-game losing streak.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty impressive.
Which is actually a good sign for Fnatic. It means they are actually turning things around, which may be a bad sign for the Copenhagen Wolves.
That's the thing, we have to give them credit, Fnatic at least, on getting these dragons. Even when they were behind, they walked down there, took the dragon away from Copenhagen Wolves, so that was a good move. Meanwhile, though, we have to give Copenhagen Wolves credit for picking up these 2 Barons. Always punishing Fnatic if they were out of position.
They've got to be careful. Countered with that Lich Bane can do a lot of damage to those towers, and you can see that one's just on a slither of health. The mid lane is also being pushed in by the Copenhagen Wolves. It's just so as that are keeping them at bay here. And the Copenhagen Wolves, while they may well be slightly losing some of that positional advantage, they have been dominating the jungle area.
They've really been having so much vision inside the Fnatic jungle, pretty much the entire game, and they've been using it to rotate around. This is a free turret for Countered. Very nice. If they can push up here now towards the base, pressure 2 lanes, they might force Fnatic into something they don't want to be in, like in a bad team fight, for instance.
If Peke stepped around the side, I was wondering whether Amazing was going to go in for it. Countered. Happy that he's just taking the tower down. The quick rotations coming in from the Copenhagen Wolves. Fnatic a little bit slow to respond to this one. Youngbuck looking to maybe try and get around the backside. Cyanide's all on his own. They're going to take the tower. He's not going to go for it.
Great rotation once again. Peke was going towards the base. Regel was already in the base. Simply meant they can rotate around. Fairly low turret. Shield on to Forgiven. Goes in, takes it. Very nice.
And that stretches the game so quickly. It was, what, 2,000 gold a minute ago. We're already up to 5,000 just like that. Those 2 towers going down and the farm across the jungle all being stolen away. Youngbuck's gone down to the bottom. He's going to continue to cleave out all of that farm as well. And something we haven't mentioned, actually, these 2 top junglers, 2 top laners, I should say, both got themselves 4 mail now.
Both for 4 mail, making it, again, just very, very hard for both teams to actually kill them. And that's the whole thing we've seen in the fights. Tank goes in, they can't die, they back off in time, and simply get out, reset the whole thing.
And speaking of builds, look at the 2 junglers. Obviously, Cyanide's gone for the full tank, a little bit of damage, but Amazing, he has got a lot of damage in there.
This is the Evelyn build we've seen with a lot of different items. It's very hard to predict always which ones they want to go for, but he has the Sonias, gives him, with the Randuins, very nice amount of armor, also very nice of damage, and if he goes into the face of Fnatic and they try and turn on him, he pops the Sonias, they won't be able to kill him. And also Hexdrinker towards the magic damage. If he shoot a blow, shield will pop, he won't die. So basically he has every single defensive stat he needs, and also he has a good amount of HP and a good amount of damage.
Looking at the 2 AD carries, it seems that obviously with that possible Banshee's Veil for Reckless, I'm not too sure which way it's going to go with that one, whether it's going to be Mercurial. We have seen QSSs coming out quite regularly from AD carries lately, the Quicksilver Sash. As it stands, Forgiven not going for any defensive items.
That's the standard Forgiven thing. He rarely builds them because he just wants full on 6 item damage, and then he's gonna rely on the Lulu to pop shield and ultimate to save him in the backline. It's gonna work as long as the Lulu ultimate can be used on him at least.
Reckless has got to be careful. They're pinging out. They're trying to... He's been stepping out a little bit far in that mid lane, and they've been looking to try and create a gank. Of course, with the likes of Amazing in there, they could step out, and he was on his own, or just with Soaz, but that would not have stopped a gank on him. Instead, they have backed away. This Baron buff is running low and has one off.
So we see again the minion or the wave clear from Fnatic just defending towards their own base. Copenhagen Wolves don't feel comfortable. They can just push in with 5 people or split out an Naval lane, try and shove the waves. So instead they take the farm, push them up, and then they back off. Could be waiting for some key items. We just saw the Blade Rune King actually being picked up onto Lucian. So they would maybe even waiting for that one, and now we might see them do something.
Yeah, Banshee's Veil starting to appear on all members of Fnatic there. Well aware of the situation. Oh, this is dangerous. Copenhagen Wolves coming in a split poise here. Actually went towards Peke. Peke managed to get away. Cyclone does catch out 3 members. Soaz teleporting in. There's the Dominus coming out from Youngbuck. They're going to get towards it. Soaz is tanking up on all the damage. But by God, he's taking a lot of damage. Youngbuck goes down. The culling comes out. Sinai does not get away because he's going to get caught out. Reckless is so low. The barrier is not going to be enough. The Copenhagen Wolves continue to push. Peke turns it back onto Forgiven. The life steal just coming out. Guardian Angels is popped though. He's going to come back to life. Will they manage to counter him down? No, Countdown completely missing the Glitterland, so he could get dead sentence. He does manage to get the hit. Yellowstone's going to be the phone to focus. He will go down. It's going to be Countdown with the kill, and that's an ace for the Copenhagen Wolves.
And the no defensive item Forgiven standing in the back line through the entire fight was just hammering away onto Fnatic. Soaz, he came in with the teleport, but he had to back off instantly because everyone from Copenhagen was turned onto him and just bursted him down.
Big death timers here. The Copenhagen Wolves could push on through into the base here. 30 seconds, they could almost certainly get these 2 Nexus turrets down. Can they finish off the game? The Copenhagen Wolves are pushing through. They've got all of the damage available to them with that Lich Bane and with Forgiven. Culling, I'm not too sure why Forgiven just used the Culling there, but they're going to take the Nexus 2 nevertheless. And the Copenhagen Wolves continue with a 5-game win streak. They are on an absolute tear right now, but Fnatic, the woes continue. They are now 1-9 in the last 10 games.